Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Standing on existing protocol. So we'll go straight to the panel section. The topic before us this afternoon is learning, leading, and driving innovations across industries in today's dynamic and socio-economic environment. I think the chairperson has already done justice to it, but all the same, we are also here to expatiate more on the topic this afternoon. As we all know, we are in an era of what? Rapid transformation, where new technologies are emerge and at unprecedented pace, industries are involved to keep up with global and socio-economic shifts continuously, to reshape the way we work, we learn, and also how we are going to lead people in our various industries. So in this fast-moving landscape, today we'll be looking at the ability to adapt, to learn, and also to want to inspire, like what our keynote speaker have said earlier. So with me this morning and this afternoon, I would like to start with a seasoned HR person, Mrs. Ada, with looking at our topic this afternoon. Ma, I want to start with you first. How do you think organizations and leaders we can create a culture of continuous learning in industries that are constantly evolving now? How do we do that? A culture of continuous learning in industries that are constantly evolving now.
Thank you, Madam Theodora. Thank you, audience. For me, and having led Human Resource Department of Nigerian Express Council, it is about driving a process of learning and relearning. And how are you going to achieve that? You have to have a mind, strategic way of driving learning and development in your organization. You have to be strategic about your talent acquisition and management for them, and you have to have a design of what you want your own group to learn. Like in Nigerian Express Council, yearly we design what the program will be like, looking to the future. One has to be proactive, you think ahead, looking at changes that are happening. And we equally encourage networking and mentoring, succession planning. In that manner, you know that the older ones will have a lot of knowledge that will pass on to the younger ones. And we do a lot of international trainings, we do a lot of internship, we have people going to industries. There's nothing like I know it all. You can never know it all. It is a process of continuous learning. And then peer review and aligning yourself with those that are top leaders. Whether we like it or not, there must be people that are above and ahead. So it is equally important that there is need for us to curry such friendship so that we can learn more. There is no barrier to learning. It is a continuous thing. Even in home, you see that your little child can teach you something. So you always be open to new ideas. Don't be regimented. And be open to change, because change must come. There's nothing that is constant. And then some of us feel like, I remember when we were trying to introduce computer in our system, and people were aged ones like us, like, this thing cannot work. It cannot work. We will stop it. And before we knew it, it was all over the place. And we now started struggling to catch up. But our system was, when I talk about systemized the organization, was actually by computers for us. You know what we're doing with those computers? We package them, we go and dump them, we say, don't mind this thing can never happen. And we saw the thing actually happening. And Before we knew it, it took over the whole system, and we're now struggling to catch up with it. So we need to be open to new trends. Things must change, and then be quick to learn. And as our chairperson and our keynote speaker talked about, there is no limit to anything. You have to open your mind to a lot of things. You have to be experimental. There's no barrier to learning, I must say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. She said about talent management, and for our industries to involve more, we need to see that our talents that we have in our organization are more useful, and also this will also lead to good succession plan for the organization. Thank you so much, Ma. So I'm going to move to Mrs. Ijoma. Okay, coming from the public sector, we are coming from the public sector. How can technology be leveraged to promote lifelong training, especially for undeserved communities?
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on the existing protocol, good afternoon, everyone. I'm standing on the existing protocol. My name is Ijoma. I want to thank the convener of this event for the opportunity to be here. Unfortunately, the person that's supposed to be speaking here is not available, and she asked me to stand on her behalf. Okay, coming from being the SA to the governor of Imo State on aviation, I think for the community to be aware of technology, the SA to the governor needs to make very good efforts to work with the governor to see that these remote areas, to see that these villages, to see that these places that are far away from town, that are not exposed, are aware of development in terms of technology. How do they do that? By making sure that they provide communities with computers, especially from secondary school, primary schools inclusive, where these children are taught how to at least start using computers. Because in this time and age, if you don't have technology knowledge, you'll be left behind. So as the SA to the governor, she has to make efforts to ensure that remote areas, villages, communities are provided, schools are provided with innovations, computers to be paired with their peers in urban areas. So it's very important. And also for him to also know that children are learning. Once in a while, there should be things like awards, competitions among these children, so that they will understand and they will be recognized. They will be, happy that such innovations are given to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. She mentioned about education. Education goes a long way. Without education, for even we as adults, and also for the younger ones, they need education, and it must be what? Continuous. We are not stopping the bridge. We need to continue in education so that even those people that are undeserved community, they will be able to address what? Good health care, economic opportunities as well. So now we are going on leadership. And Ma, for the years you have worked with Chippers Council, what key leadership traits are essential for us to navigating the uncertainty of today's global economic environment?
To be able to navigate today's economic environment that is rapidly changing, as a leader, you must be visionary, looking forward. you must have emotional intelligence. We are not all at the same level, and a lot of people are dealing with a lot of issues. You must recognize performance. It's not about money, but even a pat at the back or say, "Oh, well done, team," is so encouraging. And you see them giving their life. And then you have to design, you have to be people-centric, unlike before when it was just about the job. Now you see the Gen Zs. The one happened in my office, and the young officer, very brilliant, gave a director, in civil service, we talk about hierarchies, with the left hand, and the director was leaving. And when I questioned him, he said, but I don't know, it's God that created this hand, so I don't know what you are talking about. Should the problem be the hand I used to give or the content of the report? That's my agency talking to me. But my director was by my left too. I quickly gave him the document. So what I had was like, no, you don't need to say, my, the problem. People have refused to know how to roll with us. And me, I felt this all that. I said, me roll with you now. No man, I'm not being insulting. It's the trend, the role. So I was like, me roll with you. And I came and I spoke the language to my children. They were like, hey mom now, roll now, don't you get it? So then some things that have come on board. So to be a leader, you must be flexible. Leader of today, you have to be flexible because you have a lot of people coming on board. So you can carry as many people as possible. And you have to be one that is open to criticism. Because when they will criticize you, yes, they will criticize you. So it's not when you're criticized, you will shut out. And then you invite the person to meeting. You have to consider a lot of diversity and inclusivity, because those ones we think that they don't know it, they have a lot to bring to the table. And you have to be very open to communication. Let everybody talk, and then be a good listener. And I think with that, you'll be able to achieve a lot as a leader. And then be quick to empower. Whether you like it or not, a day will come, you'll walk away from that place. So don't hold anything. Mentor a lot. Share all that you have. Empty yourself. And you will feel happier seeing that you have trained up quite a number of persons. And then you can even rest. This thing of, oh, I know it all and I can do it all. Before you know it, you are really killing yourself. But when you share all that you have and you see your team working, you just sit and then all you can do is just to direct. You do this, you do that, and you're more of correcting, not actually doing the work. Because if you want to do this work, they are ready to sit back and then let you do it. And then, as a good leader, this work-life balance, we should be able to balance it for them. You know, that, oh, sweetheart, how are you? And as our keynote speaker talked about, just unknowingly, I just said to somebody, how are you, love? You know that woman was heading for a divorce. And she came and said, am I really here? Ma, please, can I see you later? I said, yes, you can. I said, do you really mean that I'm your love? I said, yes, why not? No, she just opened up and I saw somebody crying. And she stopped a shoulder. And we became pretty close. Yes. So I saw that she was, initially at work, people used to talk down at her. But she was looking for a listening ear. Nobody seems to understand what I'm going through. I'm going through some stuff, but nobody is looking at that. So that I said, oh my love. She was like, really? So somebody really likes me or somebody really admires me. And have a pet name for everybody. You mustn't be rigid. Be flexible. And I think that will be able to weather the storm.
Wow, thank you so much, ma'am. That's so impactful from you. And like our keynote speaker said, empathy. You know, sometimes in my organization, when I have to talk to managers and supervisors about empathy, they say, no, you HR people, you pamper too much. No, we don't pamper. You don't. Empathy goes a long way. Even for you that is not an HR person, you are just a manager. Empathy goes a long, because you need to know how that person is faring. You need to communicate. Open communication goes a long way in an organization. And with that, it will always enhance necessity in our organization. Okay, next to our ambassador. Can you also share with us from the private and public sector, can you share an example of how inclusive leadership has spawned innovation in your industry?
Okay, as a leader in an organization, you have to be open. Openness is very important. Like she said, you have to be open to your team. Let them also learn from you, because at the end of the day, you will go, some other people will follow, and that is where succession planning comes in. Then as a leader, I hear people talk a lot about emotional intelligence. You should also teach your team about financial intelligence. It's very important. People do not plan. They just get their salary and boom. People should learn how to plan with their salary. I don't know if you have someone abroad, maybe a sister and brother, and you want to ask him or her for money. Sometimes they tell you it's not in the plan. I don't have it in the plan. Why? Because they've already set out plans for what the money they have been paid is being used for. So you don't just call them anytime and say, give me $100, and the person doesn't give you, say, is it not just $100? You start feeling bad. It's not just $100. If they are paying $3,000, some is going to be for their rent or mortgage, some will be for their groceries, so you don't just budget, they have to plan. So Nigerians do not know how to plan. You see that your staff keeps coming back to you, no matter how much they are being paid, to borrow money from you. So financial intelligence is very, very important. People do not know how to, differentiate or how to work out their income and their expense. If your expense is more than your income, you're already in trouble. And that's why some people will tell you that they take home, never get home, because by the time their salary comes. So it's all encompassing. As a leader, you teach people emotional intelligence. Financial intelligence is very, very important. Let people know what their income is and how to plan. It's not when school fees time comes, you start rushing. You go to the owners of the school. Sorry, I can't pay school, because you haven't planned it. If your child is going to pay school fees in January, for instance, you should have started planning in November to set aside some money. There's what we call escrow account in financial intelligence. An escrow account is that account you set aside some savings that you don't have, what do you call it, check leave, you don't have whatever password. That account is escrow for emergency. It's not when you're sick you start, So as a leader, you have to groom your people on emotional intelligence, on financial intelligence, openness, and also, some leaders are very rigid. That's why I think Oganias said that some leaders do not want to teach because they don't want to go on leave. You see some leaders, they don't want to go on leave because they think that once they step out, somebody else will do their job. And they don't want, so they want, even when they are on leave or sick leave, they'll be calling them. And that's why I said organizations should not, have people have, their personal laptops where they take home. If they die or if they are sick, nothing goes, on again. So openness, learning, integrity. Somebody mentioned the integrity. Integrity at the workplace is very important. Saying the truth, even without fearing your boss. You just have to say it as it is. Boldness. Then, of course, as a leader, always don't just be greedy. Only you're always going on training. How about recommending others? Even training where you're almost exiting the system, you still want to go. It's just you, all about you. you all the time. You're not even recognizing people. Do you give your subordinates award? Do you recommend them for award? Are they being recognized for their hard work? These are the things. Do you give them, gifts? Do you encourage them? These are the things that a leader should be doing from time to time. And as women, please, we need to calm down. I've worked with women. Women sometimes are, always, yes, calm down with people and make them your own, family. Because you spend a lot of time at the workplace. So it's like a family. Let people, work with you with that calmness and coolness. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Ijoma, for those words. Yes, she's talking from the heart, not from the head. Yes, she's talking from the heart. To add to that, we should have a good working conditions for our employees that are also working with us. Thank you so much. So now we'll go on driving innovation, and I'll start with Mrs. Ada. How do you see collaboration between industries, fostering innovative solutions to today's pressing issues in our industry, also in our nation, Nigeria?
Collaboration is important because no man is an island. When we collaborate, we learn from each other. Everybody has strength, everybody has weakness. Through collaboration, we'll be able to build on one another's strength, and we'll be able to share data across the board. We'll be able to understand exactly what is happening in the other industry. We'll be able to understand what our individual challenges are. When I say individual now, is across board based on the industries. We know what our challenges are. We know areas that we can even support. That is what the collaboration is actually supposed to do. And when you collaborate, you see that you solve problems faster, because your problem solving skills come on board pretty quick, and you're able to do things faster, take decisions in a more elaborate manner.
Decision taking and also decision making in fostering innovative solutions to present challenges that is facing us in our industry. Okay, next question to our ambassador. What strategies can business adopt to innovate while being socially and environmentally responsible? Because Mrs. Adam mentioned about work-life balance. So how can this be aligned to our business of today?
Okay, the business of the organization, which is, taking an organization from where they are to the next level. And that is where technology comes in. That is where technology comes in the sense that, if your organization is not ahead of time, it will be difficult for you to produce people that will lead that organization in the future. What am I saying? In these times of AI, where people are learning how to use AI, these are innovations that are coming currently into the world, and your organization must not be left behind. Then you should also inspire and aspire people in an organization as a leader as well. People should be trained, people should make, learn, relearn, and continue to be promoted in the business of organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. She talked about AI. So for every organization, even a small business, we should try to start implementing AI to our workforce, to our employees as well. So in conclusion, Mrs. Ada, what advice would you give to emerging leaders looking to make an impact in both their industries and also in the society.
Emerging leaders, upcoming leaders, my honest advice is be proactive, be visionary, be transformative, be empathetic, learn to love people, learn to teach, learn to mentor, learn to recognize, learn to encourage people, be open, communicate more, listen a lot. When you're listening, try to understand. Not just listening for the sake of listening. Understand, and when you understand, please provide solution, because that's what the talker is expecting. There should be a solution. When you listen and you don't provide solution, when you don't even offer any advice, the person feels time wasted. So please, as an emerging leader, learn new skills. Be open to new learning. You have to learn, relearn, unlearn, upskill, reskill. Learning is a continuum. Don't just shut yourself out. Be adaptable to change. You must be a change agent, because you're going to see a lot of changes. And then my colleague talked about AI. Technology is it, whether we like it or not. I rejected it, but today I'm suffering for it. So please, delve into it as much as you can. There are a lot of online courses. Do wide reading, do wide knowledge sharing, do wide, as much as possible, prepare yourself. As our keynote speaker said, you can come to the table when you have something to offer. When you have nothing to offer, quickly you're jettisoned. So please, as an emerging leader, be open to learning. There are free online courses that one can try. Hands on and hands on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. So, Ambassador, in one word too, what advice do you have for our audience?
Okay, I want us to take home these points. As leaders, as mothers, as women, your well-being, I think we didn't mention that, is very important. Your well-being is important. You know, I saw on the news the other day that the lady that was killed by her husband, Osinachi, the husband had been sentenced to death. Speak out is important to your bosses, to your colleagues, to your friends. It will do you, you will feel better. Maybe by the time they will cancel you. Speak out. And then lastly, please, like our Oga there said, try and go for checkup. It's important. Somebody was telling me yesterday that she went to NCAA to see a friend, and she saw that all their faces were, nobody, she was saying, good morning, nobody answered her. She was like, did anybody die? They said no. What happened? Nobody was saying. One of them now called and said that the organization made it compulsory for everybody to go for total health check. And by the time they did it, some had cholesterol, BP. They all came with results, every one of them, and all of them were feeling so sad. What if they didn't have that opportunity? Take care of yourself. Secondly, please manage your finances very well. Learn how to manage your budgets. Learn how to differentiate and manage your income is very important, so that you don't find, because these days nobody will borrow you, even if it is 20,000. Nobody will give you. You'll be shocked at that friend that you see every day that is always looking glamorous, looking pretty with good car, and you ask her for money, she'll say, I don't have 20,000. So learn how to manage your resources. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have run up already. Just a take home, like she said, mental health is necessary. Not only for organizations, for entrepreneurs as well, business ones. You have your business, you have like 2 to 3 employees working with you. Please, mental health is necessary. You can just get 3 of them, discuss about their health with them. It goes a long way. How do you eat? Ask them questions. Not only for them to come to open your shop and they are working, but you need to also do a follow-up on them. Because you just see somebody, like Mr. Kingsley said, Saturday till Sunday, she was talking to Madam Mary. And on Sunday evening to Monday morning, we heard that she passed on. I saw her at 30th and Worcester 30th anniversary. She was jumping all over the place. But God knows. But like she said, we should take this home to always take care of our mental health. Our mental state, you need it more than anybody. And like we said, it's about you. You must be personal about yourself. Your boss, your HRO will try, but you as an individual, you need to do more. Thank you so much, and to my panelists, I want to say thank you, Mas, for having you here. Thank you.
Thank you. Please kindly be seated. Our chairperson asked that you receive the questions from the audience. We'll take the kind option of the chairperson, about 3 questions. So at this point, there's an opportunity for you to ask questions. But before we do so, I want to kindly. Okay, questions and comments. That's beautiful. Before we proceed, I'd like to kindly recognize the presence of the chairperson of Women in Logistics and Transport, Mrs. Khadija Shabi. Please give us a wave. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, ma'am. So, the floor is open for questions or contributions or comments.
Wow, what a wonderful outing, a wonderful opportunity. I must first of all thank the chair for the day. You have just seen only a snippet of her. Yes, we are in the same parish. If she starts talking about scriptures today, you will think that, yes, she's an ordained, Bishop. Bishop, thank you very much. Yes, and then she's so versatile, always giving. For instance, she's one of those coordinating children's mass in the parish. And you see her with humility and what have you, or is it to go and clean the church? There is nothing that is too small for her to do. She's an epitome of service. Yes. Like what Pope Francis told us, late Pope Francis, he said the world will tell us to look for power, to look for wealth and what have you. But God asks us to look for love, service. And what is the third one? I can't remember. I said I will write it down. But that is who she is. So thank you very much for inviting me to this awesome outing where I've met very wonderful people. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Kendo Speaker, we have so many things to talk about too. Yes, because you say women are friends of women. Why is it that when Amina indicated interest for presidency, only herself voted for herself? Do you remember? Yes. Only herself voted for herself. I don't like being abstract. Only herself voted for herself, and yet she went with some women to Abuja. When they got there, they abandoned her. And only herself voted for herself. So I have never forgotten that, and I really want us to take it seriously, because look at the statistics. Our able chair will read that. They are not only discouraging, they are actually shameful. Yes. And if you talk about the statistics, it's about 50-50. 50% women in Nigeria and 50% men. About that. But how come? How come? Because if we don't vote, if a woman is out there and we don't vote, how is she going to get the votes? How? How is she going to get there? So, one thing I believe, I say this in every opportunity that I see, that I have. Let us vote for women.
Any woman that has the courage to come out to do politics, I don't have the courage. I can never do politics. But some that have the courage and their husbands have allowed them, please, let's support them. Let's go out there and vote for them. It's not the time to run the woman down. Okay, yes. So that is one. Then, talking about financial literacy, very, very important. Or financial intelligence. Yes, absolutely important. Some years ago, when I went to Canada with my husband, I love books, I love reading. So I entered one bookshop and I saw this book, Read That Word by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, and the title was made me inquisitive. So I bought it, and then in no time, I finished reading it, and of course, so many nuggets. But there was one I took away. That when I got home, I started implementing immediately. They said, rich people, they invest their money.
Yes.
What do? We turn our cash into trash. Yes. We turn our cash into trash by spontaneous buying. Spontaneous buying. When I got home, I actually took a look at my wardrobe. So many things that for years I hadn't used, and I'm still buying. Honestly, clap for me now. So what did I do? I carried some of those things. I'm telling you what I did now. I carried some of those things that I've never used for a long time, bags and bags. I carried them to Yaba. I want to sell them. Yes, I want to sell them. And then I started all over again. Shares are there to be bought. So many little things. It's not until, don't think that until you have all the money in the world for big investment. No, little investment here and there. And then of course, that these days I don't go to Yaba to sell. The ones that I don't want to use again, I give them out. But no more spontaneous buying. No more spontaneous buying. Because those things that are just there in the wardrobe, they could have been shares. Any new dividends. True of course. True. Any new dividends. And then when they ask us to lend them, that's why I ask you, I hope you pay back. Then we should be able to dip into our pockets, you know, and actually be that you are on the table. Yes. You are not just occupying the space on the table. You are a relevant person to be on that table, and that you are there because you have brought something to the table. So many nuggets, but let me stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was a contribution. Yes. So the floor is still open for 2 more questions. What's your name? Your own identities.
Okay, my name is Florence Onwaba from Nigerian Post Authority. So, serving on existing protocol, I want to appreciate everyone, the convener, the resource persons, and everyone. It's so wonderful. So my question is from one of the teachings we've just been given. I've had that teaching before. So, you know, you talked about escrow accounts. That we should have an account that, you know, we don't touch no matter what. And I remember that I attended a seminar where the person taught us that he said something and I've been wondering if it's right. So I want to use this forum to find out, man. He told us that he has an account that no matter what, even if they tell him that somebody is dying, because there will always be such situation that he will not touch it. So, but it didn't really go down too well with me. So, I don't know, because no, his whole position is that these things keep occurring. So, I don't know what's your take on that. Thank you.
Okay,
That's the question, so maybe too rigid.
Can I take that question? Okay. Well, first and foremost, an escrow account is that account, like you said, that you don't run to. You don't have anything that will take you there. And then for the person that said even if somebody is dying, it depends on who is dying. It depends on who is dying. Because, you know, for the fact that you're saving money, why you have escrow account is one for emergencies. That's number one, as a matter of fact. Then number two is for, you know, savings. You're saving something that your hand, you know, you're not always going there. When somebody, like my father taught me something when we were growing up. If you ask my father for money, he doesn't give you immediately. If you ask him for money in the morning, he will say, I've heard you, let me check. He will allow me 24 hours. Why is he doing so? If it is not an emergency, the person will maybe calm down or a solution may come. Secondly, it may be a wayo. Somebody is trying to dupe somebody. And the person is saying, bring the money, I'm waiting. He will want to wait 24 hours. So it depends on who is dying. For example, you can have a dying mother, a dying father, and you say you're doing this and this way. So why are you saving? You're saving because of those emergencies. And remember that you are the one working for the money. It's not somebody will not dictate for you what to do. For example, you went for that training and they say, oh, if it is, that does not mean you follow the man. So even if your mother is dying, even if it's not your own mother, their own mother, or even if somebody close to you. So escrow account is that account that you put aside when there is extremely need for you to go to that account. Instead of you to call this person or that person to say, please, my daughter, my son is in need of something, maybe school fees or something. You go to that account and respect yourself. Because the people know you for calling, and when they see your call, they say, you know, there are some calls that come to you, say, hey, this person is calling me. The person has not called you in years to find out what's happening to you, and when you see that number, the person hasn't called you for a long time. Your mind, your instincts will tell you, this call that is coming, I know it's well. I know there's a friend of mine. When she sees that kind of call, before you say, she say, please, Nnamdi, before you call me, I almost wanted to call you. I have a need for 100K. So the person will just skip back the request. So that's the question. That's the answer to that question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, man. I think that was so clear. We'll have an opportunity for the last question or contribution at this point. Our chairperson said 3. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, our wonderful panelists. In fact, you made the day of too many people here, and I think I'm exceptionally one person who made the day. Then a lot of things, came up here while we were talking. Especially one in particular is the last person who spoke, and we talked about, trying to, let me not get that vulgar, but touching the money she's not able to talk with, because maybe somebody is not well, maybe somebody died. One is that in this part of the world, we believe so much in burial. Mary Hammond died on Monday, she did burial on Friday. That can't happen in Igbo. They will first of all keep her in morgue for the next 3 months and plan.
It's not after 3 months, please.
Depending.
It depends.
It depends. Depending. The being 1 year, 3 months, sometimes also it depends on availability of funds and maybe the culture. So these are the variables that also count for that. Now, you want to talk about the burial. Somebody will tell you, you have to do it, At the end of the day, you're spending millions to burial. For those who want, give a befitting burial. That word, give her or give me a befitting burial. It happened to me. When I lost my wife, people came to me, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, you don't have to do that. But let us finish their own advice. I got home, the whole people started their own advice. When I was done with the whole people, then some other corporate people and some other interest group now came again with their own advice. So at the end I was in a fix. Now, you need to give your wife a befitting burial, that's it. And nobody gave me money for the befitting burial. Nobody gave me money for the befitting burial. Now, the political group again, he must give a befitting burial. So at the end of the day, I made sure she was given burial. Today, if it was befitting or not, but I know I tried what I could. Then, on the other side of it is that I used to have one friend, how many years back? She wanted to get married, a woman, but because I saw that marriage as being either contractual or that she just wanted to get married. And she came to me and said, look, I should give her loan for wedding. I said, loan for wedding? I sat her down. I said, what is the problem? You want to get married and the man doesn't have money for wedding? She couldn't open up, even as school as well. And I said, look, there are two things I cannot do. One, to borrow money to do wedding. And I asked her, by the way, how many people have been giving money attending their weddings? Let me know your social capital in the first place. How many people? She looked at me. I said, yes, because for you to be expecting money, like from which you pay me back, it means you must have been giving people. She was not doing God, and then she was expecting money. And so another one is debt. Do you know that when my wife died, people came to me, they want to loan me money to go and do burial. Seriously. People came. There's a particular person for share. They want to loan me money to go and do burial, and I'll pay that back later. And as the point I started dodging their calls, because I don't need the money. So I think I've made 2 points here. There are funds you don't get because you want to open this. You don't get those funds. You don't get those funds or spend them because you want to show class. The idea is prudence. The idea is being rational while spending. I buy that idea. And how many years ago I learned that? I tried to apply some, I couldn't apply some. Thank you very much.
Let me say something concerning things like, in fact, general, whether it's burial, whether it is wedding, or whatever it is, I will always want to advise people to use their heads. Am I communicating? Yes. Please, always use your heads. Like I will always say, you're the one making this money. You're the one making the money. Let it not be that at the end of the day, after burying the person, you hear some cases of somebody buried somebody and at the end of the day, the person died in a week. Because depression has set in. When you finish burial, a lot of people expect so much during burials and weddings. I'll give you an example. My brother-in-law did wedding one time. And he spent so much money thinking that his friends were going to contribute to that wedding. So during the wedding, people were spraying him 20 naira. That was when 20 naira came out. 20 naira was all over the place. At the end of the day, after that wedding, they were in debts. Quote your quote according to your income. It's very important. Know when to, and how to spend. Quote your quote. Do not compete with anybody, be it your friend, be it your colleague, or anybody that maybe your mentor, and because the person is your mentor, you want to copy everything. No. Because at the end of the day, depression will set in. You will be the one that will also go and collect another loan. Because people will start calling you. So you live on loan. I don't know if you know these days, people that collect loan from all these banks, you see people calling you that, do not deal with this person, he's a thief. He's an armed robber. They will give you all sorts of things. Because of loans, please don't put yourself under undue pressure. It's not important. Like you said you're a widower. I'm a widow. Maybe we'll come and talk. I'm a widow. But of course, when my husband died, they all came with their bills for men and this and this. I told them, look, I have to go back with these children. I have 5 children, and I have to train them. Please, you people should have mercy on me. You don't go to the village looking like you have it all. Once they see that body language, the cars you came with, the way you're doing your braggadocio, your friend, they'll give you. So learn to have a budget to everything you're doing. wedding, burial, whatever it is, learn to have a budget and work according to that budget. It will save your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please can we put our hands together again for the panel?
Thank you, panelists, and thank you, Mrs. Dr. Mrs. Ezinne Aya, for your kind words. I want to thank you, but I want to make an intervention. One of the things that she said about women. We all know that women have been proven to be better leaders. The president that we have, I don't know if you remember during COVID, I don't remember if you remember Jaden and Angela Merkel and Hashina. These were president countries that's New Zealand, Germany, and Bangladesh, I think. They responded more to the COVID protocols. You see, America was all over the place making noise, doing all that. People were dying. But these countries showed leadership during COVID. And in most of the countries that's also led by women. If you see the statistics about where you have parity, where people are doing well, empathic countries, are countries led by women. They achieve results. They are quick to get results. And they are very multitasking. So it is not in doubt that women are good leaders. What we are asking is not for us only to keep to that short. Like Anthony Guterres said, I want to encourage women. He said, power is not giving but taking. Those who have the mind, like Dr. Aya said, to go into politics, please go in there. There's nothing so strange about it. It's night meetings and being able to do what? Push. Like he said, I keep quoting the US Secretary General. Do you know that last year in New York, he was using the Nigerian palace in what the language we used and said, do not agree for anybody. It was all over New York, no agree for anybody, no agree, push. He was telling us to push. So it is time for us to push. The young ones here, do not be discouraged. I don't know what men are afraid of. Maybe they are afraid that women can actually do better. Because we're not asking you people for something that is so strange. We're just saying, like he said, the skilled speaker talks about women who don't bring something to the table. Let me tell you, some women that are so pressed, that even when they want to raise their hand, you can imagine this she needed with everything that she has earned. How will it be that a man can hold her down? Women, you need to open your eye. Do not grieve for anybody. Do not grieve. I do not understand how I can be making money and I can be okay. You marry me because I was making money and looking flash. Then when I enter the house, you say, don't go here, don't go there. How do you allow something to happen to you? What is it? What love is that one? Let us shine our eye. We need to shine our eye. And that brings me to the issue of digital and online training. She talked about governor wanting to share, that should be able to share computers. No. For instance, in my own way, I am a president of an NGO, Committee of Friends for Humanity. What I have done, what I'm going to do now, is that my program will be going to the market. I have gone to my 12, I have gone to Yaba. I'm looking at those women who are selling fruit. They are in the market 24 hours. A woman who is selling pineapple told me she will wait for her market to come from Bendel or from Cotonou, and it can come in by 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. She will be in the market to receive it, to count it, to take inventory. And then she will stay there all night, and the next morning and she's not making as much money as someone who is selling it in the supermarket. So I looked at her and asked her, do you know what they call digital online trading, e-commerce? She said no. I said, do you want to put your wares, your pineapple on WhatsApp? I used to order, or I still order pineapple from somewhere, somebody selling at Idumeju, a man. And when I buy in Lagos, in Victoria Land or in Kuniwe around me, I buy 4 pineapple for like 20,000. When I order it from Idumeju, it comes at 8,000. Then the person will use logistics to bring it to me. That's 3,000. It's under 12,000. So this woman is in the market. She's going through hell, and she's not able to make enough money. So I'm going to ask her, if I expose you, if you can put it WhatsApp or Instagram. If you are selling 10 books a day, you can sell 20 or 30, and someone can order from you. And I began to ask, if you are coming through Ikeja, through the barracks, if you are taking that side road, I'm sure you can see one woman that has been doing corn. From corn she will sell plantain. Yeah. Now her children have taken off. Some of them have gone to university. Yeah. And I went to them and I said, this is like a generational business. Can you have a company? They say no. But some of you have gone to university. Do you do digital online? They say no. I said, what do you think about it? They say, no, we're excited. You go to Masha, you see another set of girls doing the same thing. So as we are here, we must do. So I'm taking it upon myself. And I'm going to reach out to some of you like your company, CFAS. Yes. I'm coming to you. Because this event, the plan is to empower them. Give them digital training. Give them civility training. Give them entrepreneurship training. Teach them bookkeeping. So that they can upscale their business. And don't suffer every year they are borrowing school fees. Yet they are in the market 24 hours. Is it fair? No. It's not fair. So people are telling me, oh no, go and train people who you can. I said no. Those people already have opportunity. We must look for those people who nobody is looking at and they are suffering so much. In our area, in our communities, we have such people. We must come together as women. That's what you are talking about, financial independence and inclusion. If every woman can contribute to the home, it will be better. Life will be better for her children and for herself. So my dear sisters, do not let anybody hold you down. When you tie your money for your waist and you bring it out for your children, and your children, you train them, when they are going to somebody's house, the person wants to stamp them, tell them to boil hot water, wait the man out for night, and say, Oga, are you looking at me? The next time you try this is what will happen. Men, we are your mothers. We love you. Please, even your brothers and your sons, teach them how to be civil. And women, when you are bringing up your guests, bring up your voice in the right way. Let them understand that the world does not belong to them. The world is a place where we can love each other and encourage each other. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Will I say a very big thank you also to our amazing panel. Please kindly give them a round of applause as they